Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, earthlings, peeplings, everywhere. You'll see there's a wobble on the camera, which we didn't get with the ghost. This video is just, I'm just on my own here. And a lot of you know, Graham's in hospital. So I thought we'd have a chat. Before I get going, when we had the home invasion, some people noticed this here, which Benjamin bought me a couple of Christmases ago, and he bought it for me because I'll show you. Up there are these handles, and these are for pull-ups, but because I am such a feeble weakling, he bought me this, actually go down a bit, and you put your feet on this, and then the elastic straps, this is the theory, you can have, oh there they are, you can have three elastic straps, and if you feel as you get stronger you remove a strap from the D-ring either side, and then it becomes more and more difficult. It's actually quite good fun. I'll just try and lift the... God, it always goes wrong for me. Well, I've just washed the floor because the lemons had left a lot of lemon juice. So I had to wash them. But it's basically to make life easier for a pull-up. Right, I'll try and do a pull-up. And then I'll tell you all about Graham. So one of the tricky parts is, apart from not kicking the camera over, is get my feet in that swing. Look at this. Whoa, I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look at that. Look how easy it is. But that's because I've got 3 elastic straps on it. If I have only one, it's actually quite difficult, but really easy with 3. You can imagine me with none, without this device at all. Well, it's damn near impossible. I just stand, in fact, I'll try now. No, I can't pull myself up at all because I'm actually really heavy. Right, let's talk about Graham and what's going on. Possibly a little bit of Meghan and Harry as well. You never know, because that pair of lunatics, I'll just turn the lights out. Doors are bolted. All the booby traps are set. Cameras are on. Right, yeah, Graham. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably going through a similar journey. In fact, I know a lot of you are. And cancer is a tricky old business. Oh dear, what the hell's going on here? There we go. Yeah, cancer's a... thing with cancer is everybody has a different type of cancer. Everybody has a different body. Cancers react differently. They react differently to treatment. And also, I'd like to add this. Let's move around a bit more. Just because you have cancer, it does not mean that when you feel ill or you have a temperature that it is cancer related. It can be something unrelated. Now, what happened with Graham, as I'm sure a lot of you have noticed, since Christmas, he's appeared to deteriorate. Well, that all culminated in us both making the decision a couple of days ago that it was time to take him to hospital. And again, at the hospital, we'd been to the hospital for appointments, and they'd sort of said they'd seen him quite recently. And none of us really knew. And there's always this temptation to assume everything that goes wrong with a person is to do with cancer. So, and that's what Graham thought, that's what I thought, that's what the doctors thought. We've been in for a few appointments now. Well, he was going more and more downhill, and he wanted to go into hospital and I wanted to take him. So I took him, and the doctor, he had like a swelling, And it was really painful. You know, I just touched it, just a little bit, and he screamed. And he had scans, he had blood tests. She said, we're going to admit him. We're going to take him down to A&E. We're going to have him analysed for everything. There were loads of doctors involved, including his oncologist and his current doctor. So, I mean, there were about 4 doctors and 3 nurses involved in the whole process. And it's like putting pieces of a puzzle together. And what they have deduced is that he has an infection. And they're treating him with antibiotics. And yesterday, he was in agony. Couldn't walk. And as a result of being on antibiotics, he's now feeling a lot better. So it's not like curtains, because I think this is the thing. When someone's got cancer, they think, oh, this is it. That's what me and Graham thought. And don't think like that, because that is not necessarily the case. It's complicated, very, very complicated. So anyway, let's go through the living room. I've got some boring film going on at the moment. I'm home alone and, you know, I've got no one else to talk to. Please don't take that the wrong way, guys. I didn't mean that to sound rude. I really didn't mean that to sound rude. I mean, I've got the cat. But she doesn't talk much. And when she does, she's got an American accent. So, that's just you and me, really. I mean, Graham phoned me up earlier because we've got the WhatsApp and stuff. I went in to visit him earlier and then, well, I'll tell you about that story another day. But I came home and we had a WhatsApp chat and he's like, what are you going to do tonight? And I'm like, well, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm sitting at home alone. But he will be home, hopefully, Monday. He's looking a lot better. And just to touch on the Meghan and Harry stuff, I mean, they're bizarre, those two, aren't they? Totally bizarre. There's him dressing up, like getting involved with a Sioux Nation or one of the native Canadian type things, and he's putting a blanket on. And I look at those kind of pictures, and those people are being nice to him. But I mean, isn't that kind of the equivalent of blacking up? To like, it's so patronising. It's, oh, hello, native Canadians. Hello, you'll wear your blanket and your beaded. You know, it's like, fuck off, Harry. Off your tits because you're so happy Meghan's left. And as for Meghan, well, she's gone back and I'm releasing all these pictures again. We're so in love. Why does Harry have like loads more hair in the black and white photo she's released than he's actually got now? It's almost like that photograph was taken a long time ago. Well, Instagram, long time ago, like 6 months ago, a year ago, something like that. So anyway, getting back to what's going on here. And I try and I'll put a title because I don't like clickbaity titles. So I'll try and put a title that depicts what this video is about. This is not about Meghan and Harry or royal family. It's just about life and just chatting to you. Because I don't want it to sound rude like I've got no one else to talk to. What I mean is, there's no one else in the physical room, except for the cat. And I enjoy your company very, very much. And I know Graham does as well. And when I went to see him at the hospital today, he said to me, there's a window at the end of the corridor which has got a lovely floor-to-ceiling window with a view of the Bay of Gibraltar. He said, can you go down and do a recce and see if it's appropriate for me to do a video down there? Well, I went down and he was right. Lovely floor-to-ceiling window. Not many hospitals have got those kind of views, but there were also a lot of wards, and there are patients and there are people with... So I went back to him and I said, well, yes and no. It's not ideal to be making a video. So he can't, he would, but he can't make a video. He's feeling well enough to make a video, but where he is there are other people he's not in a ward, he's in a room with a couple of other people, and each room is like that. There's like 3 people in each room, and unfortunately all the way down this corridor, and you can see right into the rooms, and obviously people have got different issues, and so and also they need peace and quiet, so we've all got to be very, very quiet when we're in there. So no, it's not really appropriate, but I know he would love to talk to all of you. He would love company. He did a blog that I shared on a community post about, the update. And at that stage, we had no idea exactly what was going on. At that point, he thought he had appendicitis. But it turns out, no, it's not appendicitis. All his vital organs are just fine. And it's an infection. And he's on these strong antibiotics on an intravenous at the moment. He's in the hospital right now. But as time goes by, he's feeling better, and he'd love to talk to you guys. So if you can go to his video, and it is nice that people say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm praying for you and everything, and we love that. I mean, my God, you guys have got us through so many tough times. But what he'd really like is just a bit of chit chat about what you guys are up to. And he's desperate to do a video about one of the air collisions and other things, so he can talk to you guys about other things. You can imagine he's in hospital and he is watching YouTube, but he really loves the interaction of chatting to you guys, as do I. I love that, hence I'm sitting here. And I mean, she's just not look at this, for a conversationalist. You're just, come on, say something. Meow. Meow. No, she won't tell me what she thinks about politics or anything else. Or Meghan Markle. She don't care. So anyway, that's what's happening at the moment. And, she's coming over now. I just thought I'd have a chat. And especially for people out there, if you're going through anything similar, or you're on the early stages or the latter stages, or you've been through this, I don't like the fact that cancer is like an umbrella term. It's so unspecific, because the reason I believe that they have not discovered a cure for cancer is because basically it's different for everybody. They've got to find a common denominator, and that's really difficult because every single person is different. So I am right there with you. If you're going through something similar or not similar, we're fine. Graham's fine. I'm fine. We're not all in floods of tears, doom and gloom, and mapping out funeral plans or anything like that. It's just, it really is a journey. It's a journey of discovery of, and as I really found out yesterday, when there were these 4 doctors and nurses, and everybody's talking, and they were very much taking on board what Graham was saying, what I was saying, and they were like, shall we try this? And I'd be like, well, what about this? And Graham was, well, I don't know, how about we try that? And between, like, working together as a team to put the puzzle together, and he's doing really, really well, and hopefully he will be back on Monday. That's the plan at the moment, all being well. But he might end up being in there a day or 2 longer, because they're waiting to see how his body responds to antibiotics, etc. And lots of blood tests. And of course, when they take blood, then you've got to wait an hour and a half for it to cultivate, to produce the results that are required. And they took a lot of vials out of him, so they were testing for a lot. So that's where we're at. It's basically Graham's laying in a hospital, bored shitless, and I'm at home, bored shitless and lonely. And it's Saturday night, Kat, or Sunday. I think it's Saturday, isn't it? And I'm just watching movies and stuff. What are you guys up to? And if you are going through any type of illness, not just cancer, any kind of illness, tell everybody about it in the comments, because you are not alone. That's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of the YouTube channel. And I think that's the thing that both Graham and I love the most about having YouTube channels, is company. That's the major thing. And I suspect that's the case for a lot of other YouTubers. It's company, people to talk to. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to my ramble, and I'll see you in the comments below. Right, guys, so after having filmed that previous video, I've been in touch with Graham, and he actually forwarded me a video that his friend Richard has done all about Graham. And now Richard is, you know, he's alive. He taught Graham to fly. And Richard is an exceptional person. He came out to visit recently. That's who Graham's friend was that came out in the last few days. Now, Richard's father was a mosquito pilot in the Second World War. And his father actually took flak for the dam busters. The mosquitoes went in first before the dam busters, and his father got the DFC. And then that inspired Richard to learn to fly, and Richard taught Graham to fly. So this is awesome that Richard has done like explaining what he feels about Graham. So I am not going to be emotional. It's just Richard is very, very important to both of us, as are an awful lot of the pilots at Shoreham Airport, quite a few of whom have been in touch because Graham was a legend at Shoreham. And poor old Shoreham Airport now is really falling into decay, and it probably won't exist much longer. I'm sure that Cecil Pashley, who founded Shoreham Airport, would be in dismay. You know, he wasn't quite one of the Wright brothers, but he was first commercial flights from the UK. Anyway, over to Richard.
Well, hello. So I'm Richard Pryor, and I used to teach Graham to fly. I think he would like us to actually do a video together, but at the moment that's not possible. So I thought I would just do one separately for the time being, and hopefully we'll get together and we'll do one together. Yeah, just to give you an idea about Graham. What was he like as a student? Well, what can I say, actually? I think he was unique. He was absolutely unique, and we hit it off straight away. I mean, I liked him from the first day I met him, and I liked him personally, but also as a pilot. He was always, I think it was natural, actually, to be fair. I mean, he's got a lot of natural abilities, Graham. I mean, he's obviously had a leaning towards flying. I know he had an RAF background and stuff like that. His father was in the Royal Air Force, but certainly, you know, there was a natural flair there, and he took to learning really quickly. So not only that, he had his own ideas at times, so he had to be reined in just a little bit. But he was innovative insofar that he would use modern techniques for navigation, for example, and he will tell you all about that one, which you might otherwise not have used, but I thought it was genius. He used one of the very early GPS devices to find his way around the country, where most people weren't flying in that way. They were using, you know, very old-fashioned steam-driven methods, using maps and, you know, set squares and rulers and pencils and all that kind of stuff, and mathematics in your head. But he was more practical than that. But it wasn't always the right thing to do, especially when you're training to become a private pilot. But I just thought it was innovative, and why not at the end of the day? I mean, but yeah, he was a good guy, and we got on very well. We become very good friends, and we've kept in touch on and off. To be fair, over the years, but you know, he's a good mate. I like Graham. He's you know, he's a lovable rogue. So anyway, that's probably an overview. I mean, there's more to say, probably. I mean, I've been looking at my logbooks to see whether or not I've made any marks, or I've actually made any endorsements with regard to our flights. But I was all very professional, actually. So there's nothing much in there that kind of can take me back 30 odd years now. We've discovered, you know, it was since we flew together. But yeah. Anyway, he's as I say, he was a very natural pilot. I think he was got a very good attitude toward flying. He's always willing to explore things and do things differently within, you know, obviously within reason. But he's always willing to explore and determine whether or not, you know, things can be done differently, and that's not always a bad thing. But he's always mindful of the fact that you know, safety is the number one priority, and he was always safe. But yeah, good guy, good pilot, and you know, hopefully that will give you some idea about how he was. If I can think of anything else, I'll bring that up in the dual interview that we will do at some point in the not too distant future. Okay, thumbs up.
Good night, and may your God go with you.